Fish oil. Australians are hooked on the stuff. 2.7 million of us swallow $314 million worth of fish oil supplements each year.
Some of us get it straight from the source. Yibbity yibbida.
See, fish oil contains omega-3 fatty acids, which are important for our health. And seafood is the best, though not the only, source of two of them. But instead of eating lots of this stuff, lots of us are swallowing this stuff.
Kirsten, there's no omega-3 in whiskey. You know that.
But instead of eating lots of this stuff, lots of us are swallowing this stuff. And no wonder. Fish oil pills are promoted as a wonder drug with 7 different benefits. Sorry, 13 different benefits. Sorry, 30 impressive benefits. Helping with anxiety, depression, asthma, ADHD, weight loss, fertility, diabetes, cancer, Alzheimer's, dementia and heart disease. Thing is, the evidence they do all of that is vastly less impressive. Even the Heart Foundation, which used to recommend fish oil supplements, has since updated its position after a 2015 review of the evidence. It found that while higher fish intake was associated with lower rates of heart problems, omega-3 supplements did not have a clear benefit for reducing the risk of developing heart disease. It did find they can play a role in treatment of high triglycerides and existing heart disease, but it's up to your doctor to decide if you need them for these conditions, and they'll tell you which ones to get. As for the rest of those conditions, fish oil has only been found to have fairly consistent evidence for a modest effect in treating rheumatoid arthritis, but not the more common age-related osteoarthritis. Anyhow, now that the floggers of fish oil supplements have cornered the baby boomer market, some are turning their attention to the booming baby market. They claim they're good for pregnancy and breastfeeding, as well as for kids' healthy brain development. Then there's BioGlan with their Finding Nemo-themed bottle of kids' omega-3 gummies, which are 53% sugar. Sounds like their label needs a bit of updating. Nature's Way Kids Smart fish oil range claims to help your child perform better at school. And if you really want to see how your kid's performing, get them to work out.
How many of these Kid Smart milk buns would you have to eat to get the same amount of omega-3 DHA as there is in just one capsule of the regular Nature's Way fish oil?
1, 2, 77, 78.
That's right. And how much would you pay for the Kid Smart equivalent of this 7-cent fish oil tablet?
$7.48. That's more than 100 times as expensive.
That's right. Now eat up.
But it's full of gross added sugar.
You're getting too smart for your own good.
There's also Swiss, which has children's smart fish oil, and plain kids fish oil, in case you don't want smart kids, I guess.
Let's try it again with this one.
Swiss says this stuff
supports cognitive health, brain function,
and
contributes to healthy learning and behaviour.
no, they've even put a geeky little kid's face on the lid. 4 eyes. And Swiss's regular fish oil says it's essential during pregnancy, even though the TGA has twice told them they're not allowed to say that. Swiss told us their labels were printed before the TGA ruling and they're allowed to sell the rest of that stock. They also said,
"You did well to find one of the old products on shelf."
"Oh, thanks. Can we use you as a reference?" Although we didn't do that well. It was in the first chemist we walked into. Now, we asked these companies what their claims fish oil is good for pregnancy, breastfeeding and children are based on. Blackmores got back to us and assured us they hold evidence to support their claims, but declined to tell us what it was. While Nature's Own sent us 2 studies, one of which found
more work is needed,
and another which said
the few studies which have evaluated supplementation during lactation did not show benefits.
Which is the first time in the Checkout's history a company has sent us proof their product doesn't work. But Swiss is a different kettle of fish oil because unlike their competitors, they helpfully list the science behind their products on their website. But weirdly, Swiss's own list of evidence includes 2 European Food Safety Authority rulings which found there is insufficient evidence that fish oil supplementation in pregnancy and breastfeeding helps development in babies. Here you go. You want some? No? All right. Given you've got facial hair, it's probably time we weaned you anyway. Weirder still, Swiss's list of science references includes an encyclopedia of alternative medicine, a book which lists juice therapy and homeopathy as possible treatments for leukemia.
Here's your leukemia blaster, sir. I'm a doctor now.
It's almost as though Swiss employed someone to trawl the internet for research that could be construed as supportive and then put it in a spreadsheet.
The former employee's job was to trawl the internet for research that could be construed as supportive, then populate a spreadsheet with what he found.
Anyhow, let's hope Swiss is still employing someone to trawl, because there's a real big fish to catch out there now. A decade-long study by the South Australian Health and Medical Research Institute, which followed hundreds of women throughout their pregnancies and until their children were 7 years old, and it found fish oil supplements had no benefit to the brain development of babies. We're going to need a bigger boat. We contacted Swiss to ask them, will this change your claims? And they said, the thing is, even if fish oil supplements could deliver on everything they promise, they come with quite a big catch.
Some studies have shown that fish oil supplements can have less omega-3s than their labels claim, and they're often oxidised.
She means they've gone off.
In any case, as with other nutrients, I'd recommend you get your omega-3s from foods, not tablets.
Throw her back, she's undersized.
So, how to know whether you're getting enough omega-3s? After all, we're always hearing that we aren't, in news articles or from fish oil companies, quoting research which finds Australians are not meeting the recommended intakes for omega-3s. But what recommended intakes are they referring to? After all, the National Health and Medical Research Council hasn't set a recommended dietary intake for omega-3s like it has for other vital nutrients like protein or iron or whiskey.
Kirsten, whiskey is not a vital nutrient.
You try living without it! Anyway, what we do have is an adequate intake figure, which is what the NHMRC told us should be used when discussing recommended intakes. And when you do use it, you'll find most of us, including kids, are getting well above that amount already. But the studies these articles are based on use a benchmark 4 times higher than that, a suggested dietary target, which the NHMRC set because it may help in prevention of chronic disease, which sounds great, but there's a reason that's a may. When we asked the NHMRC if it is correct to refer to the SDT as a recommended intake, they said no. But look, maybe you like consuming 4 times as much of something as is adequate. So if you want to dose up on your omega-3s, here's how you do it. As you can see, even if you don't eat fish, you can still get there with lean red meat and some omega-3 enriched milk and eggs. Although fish is the cheapest and most effective way to consume omega-3s, and it's linked to other health benefits too. So you really should try to eat more fish.
But what if you're vegan?
Well, algae's the best non-animal source of omega-3s, so I don't know, lick a fish tank?
It's all the same to me.